had the documents and so on to look at this, but I did raise it at yesterday's briefing. And this is a huge issue of public concern. I recognise that there is commercially sensitive information involved, but there is also a very important point of principle. And as I said yesterday, I think that the report and the meeting should have been structured differently, so that certainly as members we should have received the confidential information. But I think that it should have been possible for us to have received that and respected the confidentiality of it, but also to have been able to discuss the main issues and the principles involved in public, because of the genuine public interest issues that arise in this particular decision.
Can I ask our Head of Legal, Craig Griffiths, to comment on that, please?
Of course, Chair. Thank you very much for bringing me in. I take on board absolutely all the points that Councillor Llewellyn is saying. Very, very legitimate points ultimately for consideration here. Just to give you an overview to members as to why ultimately we are suggesting that it's considered in private. You'll have seen in the report at paragraph 2.2 there is a lot of commercially sensitive information ultimately there, and we did look to see ultimately whether we could split it out in different ways. Ultimately, we concluded that some members could do comparisons of various different options, and to ensure that all the information could be discussed, the recommendation from officers on this occasion was for that report ultimately to be considered in private. Obviously, members will make their own determination on the day, but that was the nature of the advice, obviously, as we would present to members as part of that determination, Chair.
Do you, we have proposed the motion to move into private. We've had a proposer and a seconder. I would like to therefore take a vote on that, I think. So my proposal would be that anybody who wishes to oppose moving into private raise their electronic hand. I see. Charlotte, can you count those, please?
Chair, I can currently just see 3 hands. Just to confirm, Chair, that there are just 3 hands showing. Yeah.
Yep.
Chair,
Yes.
can I just say something briefly? Because if I put my hand up to say something, you think I'm voting not moving into private. So just briefly, can I also...
Is that 4th hand we've got going up?
Chair, just to confirm as well, Councillor Hunt is still speaking, but he's on mute.
Thank you.
God, on and off, apologies. Yeah, what I was saying is, I didn't want to put my hand up, but you think I'm voting not to go into private. But can I just confirm that if we vote not to go into private, then the meeting today would probably be null and void, and we wouldn't be able, because of the structure of the papers, we wouldn't, we'd have to end the meeting now, because we can't talk about it in public. Can I just ask Craig Griffiths to confirm that?
Certainly.
Of course, Councillor Hunt, to pick up on your question there, if the decision was made by members ultimately that they didn't want to consider this in private, my advice as the monitoring officer would be to delay any determination on this matter, to not expose the council to any breach of commercial confidentiality claims that could ultimately come about as a result of this decision. So I think the advice would be, if members decided not to go into private, I would recommend that there would be a deferment at that point, and obviously members will make a determination then, but obviously if they didn't, the council would be at risk of financial penalty or claims against us for breach of contract or a breach of confidentiality in some way.
So, can I confirm how we move forward? We have taken a vote. We have had a number of hands up. Would you confirm how many, Charlotte?
Chair, if I may, can I just ask members to put their hands up again, because they've gone up and down, and I would just like to be sure of the amount that's...
So can those councillors wishing to vote against moving into private please raise their electronic hands? So we have 2 at the moment. 3. Any further? So at the moment, I see 3 in total.
I can confirm that as well, Chair.
Okay. Can councillors please take their hands down as we move forward? So there is a majority decision by default to go into private session. So can I please ask that any public press or in attendance can now exit the meeting and